Okay. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Okay, guys, we are going to start taking a few questions and answers. And I want to again congratulate all those people that have today got back with us saying how they finally got their approval. That's cool. All right. I have a few minutes here, and I will start taking some questions as soon as they start popping up. Before just the beginning of this, I'll let you know that this is not a stimulus check, another stimulus check video. I don't mess with the stimulus checks. I don't reel people in with stimulus check videos that are just repeats after repeats. We're taking questions and trying to give answers of for those that are involved in actually moving forward in their EIDL and their PPP loan approvals and forgiveness loans. So with that said, I am not going to be taking any stimulus check questions. There's nothing happening there until the beginning of August anyway, so don't waste your time with stimulus check videos because there's nothing there yet. But anyway, let me go over the first rule of thumb here. Everybody is very excited about their approvals today. There were record-setting as far as this channel goes, and I want to say it would be wise for you to open up a separate checking account for your business if you don't have one already. But for the loans that you're getting, not specifically the grants, but the loans that you'll get, your PPP loan and your EIDL advanced loan, if you have those in a separate account, that you're going to have to move your money around, say for payroll, say for rent, for utilities, for cost of goods purchasing goods. You're going to have to make a note of these so that when you go for forgiveness, unless you're not looking for forgiveness, if you're just getting the loan saying, look, I'll get the loan and I will pay it back when the time comes next year and I have to start making my minimum payments or your payments, you can do that. That's great. That would be cool too. You can just forget all about the forgiveness and just go with the payment plan as required. Or you can try to get the forgiveness. But if you do go for the forgiveness, I'm urging you right now, people, get a separate account specifically for these loans. That way, coming up, you can write $1,000 a week off on payroll, $1,000, and start taking that from your other account that you're making, your business account, and moving it over into your personal account and noting on it payroll and noting on it another, $100 is this for rent. Another $500 is for utilities and phone and electric and stuff like that. But if you can do that, instead of when the time comes and you may get audited or checked, if you're going for forgiveness where they want to look at your numbers, they're going to want to see you have spent the money in a certain direction that is forgivable. Because if you just spent the money and say, okay, let me go look. Oh, wait, no, I bought this hair dryer, and I'm going to say you're a hair salon. I bought a hair dryer for my salon. Now you have to go through your personal stuff and show them where you bought this or bought that or bought this. Now you're going through all this, and it gets a little muggy in there where they're going to be, I don't know about that forgiveness, but we're not going to forgive you of that because it doesn't sound like it was a business thing and it's in your personal account, which leaves the playing field wide open for a non-forgiveness because it's in a personal account. It's so you don't have to. I'm just, letting you know that if you don't put this in a personal account, or if you don't put this in a business account, your odds of getting forgiven for this loan may be significantly downplayed when it comes time for your forgiveness. So with that said, we will go to the next question, spending your EID PPPL loans. If you're looking to refinance a long-term debt or something like that with it, I wouldn't suggest that because it's not feasible. You're not supposed to do that. Can I buy money to buy new equipment to expand? You might be asking yourself, this is not for new equipment to expand. It's holding off at bay. It's staying in business. It's not advancing and going in, because the EIDLs are for working capital loans intended to pay fixed debts, and you can pay payroll accounts and accounts payable and other bills that can't be paid as if the disaster had not occurred. If the disaster didn't occur, then you'd still be able to pay these. So these loans are intended for, are not for expansion or lost revenues. They're intended to stay afloat. It's like a safety net to stay afloat. Now, I'm going to go off, and I don't know for 100%, but I will say that if something broke in your business, say you're a restaurant and your oven broke, normally you would have had the money to pay for the oven because of the income you had coming in. But now you don't have that income because of the lost revenue. So you're going to have to say, okay, darn, I'm going to have to salvage. I'm going to have to go with this money. I need a new oven, or there's no way that I could stay in business. However, if COVID hadn't happened and I'd be getting all these people coming in, I would be able to buy my oven normally on this basis that COVID happened. Now I can't afford that. So now I'm going to have to use this money as to keep my business afloat. That's just something I might want to check into before I take that the next step further. But you may even want to call a loan officer and say, hey, is this possible? Because it's not an expansion and it's not a lost revenue. It's a business priority that you will need to keep in order to move forward in your business. So with that said, what else do we got here? For those of you that have just had questions, or somebody got with me saying, I've waited so long and finally I've went to my portal and it says declined and I'm awaiting an email. Is this for sure being declined? Probably yes. It sounds to me like you're declined. When you are denied, when you get a letter of denial, finally get the email, be ready to appropriate that with, write them back in that same email on file that they sent you, and tell them you want to reconsider the loan. And if you didn't get the EIDL loan, let them know that you want your grant. Your grant should still come to you, even though they are not approving you for a loan. You're denied of that. Unless they see that you don't have a business, if you're just trying to buck the system, you're not going to get it. But if you're a legitimate sole proprietor or a contractor independently, or own a business, you should automatically, no matter what your credit is or what have you, get the loan. However, I don't know who you are or what you've done, so maybe there's something in there that is denying you that you're not telling us. But if you get a denial, you can always get that reconsideration loan or email in right away. And if they you should say, hey man, I need you to reconsider my loan, and I want my EIDL grant that I'm eligible for. So if you're a business, you are eligible for that grant. It's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. If you have an employee such as yourself, that's $1,000. If you have a wife, if you put her in, or a husband, either way, you get $1,000 per person. If you're an independent contractor, make sure you include your spouse. But that should get you another email that gives you an advanced portal link, which they send you and will ask you to provide a bank account information so that they can issue you the grant money. So what you're trying to do is you're trying to get that denial letter approved, saying, okay, now send me a link where I can give you my bank account number. That way you can send me my grant money. And that should be $1,000 for you to get. And it could take a month or two to go through the process. It probably won't happen overnight. If you got denied, then you went to the bottom again, and here it is, you're coming back up. But hurry up and get that email in and let them know that you were denied, but the loan money, but you still want your grant money. So hopefully that can help you if in that area if that's one of the things you're going through here. And if you've been waiting forever and received an email from the SBA, go back over your emails and look for a contact information on your email to figure out if who you can call or who you can email to try to get more verification and more insight on what is going on with your process, with your application, because sometimes they do need a jump. They need to get you back up into where you belong in the stack of papers. But and then you say you got the grant, but you didn't get the loan. Yeah, that happens a lot. I've seen that probably more than if you say you got $1,000 grant, then or $1,000 loan, you haven't got the grant. If you got $1,000, that's the grant. They're not giving $1,000 loans. So another one of those came up today, and I was like, oh, a lot of people are getting that $1,000, and they're thinking it's a loan because they signed for a loan, thinking it was the $1,000 that they have to pay back. But no, it's going to be a grant one way or another. Whether you get the grant next year on your taxes, or you could even say, hey, I got this loan on my taxes, it's supposed to be a grant. And next year, 2021, you may be saying, oh, boom, they're giving you an extra $1,000 to pay for that loan, which was already given to you. So not extra $1,000, but they're taking $1,000. Yeah, it's a loan. It's not, I mean, it's a grant. It's not a loan. That $1,000 you got is not a loan. It's a grant for $1,000. They're not doing that. So any more questions about that, I'll be more than happy to answer if I can. And if I cannot answer them, I will not answer them because I'm not going to feed you false information. Let's see what else we got. Oh, how can I use my EIDL? You're a business owner. You should know the answer to this as well as anybody, but the main purpose for your business, like I said, if you get this EIDL advance and it's a sum of money that you're going to have a hard time keeping track of, please, do yourself a favor. You'll be kicking yourself if you don't go out and just put it in a separate business account or another personal account so you can keep track of everything. Even if I'm going to pay myself $1,000 a week, boom, with this money, and you take the money from the business account and move it to your personal account as you need to move this money because you don't want to have to go into your personal account with these tax people. You don't want to do that and try to explain to them what went where. You want to have it in a separate business account. Oh, this $1,000 was for payroll, and you'll see $1,000 out of this every week. And in order to get the forgiveness on this loan, you have to spend it. They're not going to give you forgiveness on a loan if you haven't spent it. So make sure you get your ducks in a row with this. Even if you got to show that you move the money into a personal account, but that's a personal account as a payroll, this is how you move it. That moved it personal. For utilities, here's $100 went to utilities. My utility bill, I work at home. My utility bill this month is $300, but a third of my house is business on paper. So I have a business office. I have the room over here that I do my studios and my business in these rooms. So a third of my rent and a third of my utilities and electric all go to my personal. After I take them out of the business, a third of that, boom. Say it's a $10,000 a month for my personal, $3,000 a month or for my business. $3,000 of that, which is 30%, will go to which I'll move it. So we got to be smart on moving your money and showing your money being moved, or else when you go to get this loan, you're going to be shocked. Or when you go to get an approval on this, you're going to be like, why didn't I do this? Why didn't I do this? Because now I can't get the approval. I can't get my forgiveness because I didn't show correctly that I spent the money in the order that they wanted to see it. They're going to want to see you spent the money for what it was used for. You need to do this, and I'm just going to say right now, if you don't do this, people, you will be kicking yourself, and you'll be like, I remember when speaknsee said I should have got an account, and I didn't because I just got the approval and I got the loan, and now they're coming and they're chasing me, and I'm not going to. If you are one of those people who get money or taxes at the end of every year for whatever, EIC and all these income taxes, or if you get or if you have to pay taxes. Either way you look at it, you're going to be screwed if you don't show proper use of the money. So, yeah, I would definitely say go get another business account or a separate personal account and take the money that you got from PPP or EIDL and show it being moved in and out of there. And it's going to make your business go a lot smoother. So with that said, I don't see any more questions popping up, and only 4 viewers. I hope you all are doing well. Thank you for coming. How much money may I borrow? You can borrow as much as they will let you, as much as they see fit. You'll get the statement on that. You don't get to name the price of how much you borrow. They get to name the price of the maximum they'll give you. Then you don't have to take it. Say they offered you $100,000. You can scroll it down to $50,000. Say I just need $50,000 to stay in business right now. So must I submit a personal financial statement with my loan application? Yes, you must. That's coming. You'll have to give them all your personal information. It's a loan. And anytime you take a loan with anybody, you got to give all your personal information. So that's just how it goes. Do I need collateral? You will if it's over $25,000 loan. You will need to collateral. Now, I've seen some people get the loan before they give the collateral, but then their SBA will go back, or the lenders will come back to you and say, okay, what do you got? And they're going to want to, with the papers you signed, whatever you own for collateral, they will come and get it if you don't pay them. So, or if you don't get forgiven. So that's why I'm trying to get this forgiven for you and for me. What are some prohibited uses? You may not use the fund to pay cash dividends or bonuses. I can't give myself a $5,000 bonus because I'm such a nice guy and I've done such a good job this week. I can't give myself that bonus. And it's not for disbursement. You can't just say, hey, your owners and partners, you're all getting a chimp with the change. This is not to get into your profits or losses. This is just a loan. You cannot just hand it out. And if somebody performs more this week than they did last week, a higher performance ratings, you cannot give them a loan saying, oh, we thought you did better in performance. No, your salary, your payroll has got to stay legitimately in contention with the environment that it normally would. It's not to refinance long-term debts or provide working capital that was needed by a business prior to the disaster. So if you were making use of your loans prior to the disaster, it's not to try to pay off that, just to move ahead in what it is. If you understand that, then you're probably in higher numbers than most of us. But yeah, you can't be just using it for whatever you want to. And you've got to show, I'm telling you people, you need to get a separate account. You really should get a separate bank account for your EIDLs and approval, your loans. If you when you get the money in for this, you really should get a separate bank account. You will be happy that you did. And with this said, I am going to let you go. And if you have any more comments, please leave them in the box. And I will, as everybody knows, they love me because I get back to them. They don't love me, but they watch me because I get back to you and I answer their questions, as where higher rated people might not. Anyway, thanks for watching. It was good seeing you. It was good having you. I'm out for the night on this, and I want to thank you all. See you tomorrow. If anything specific comes up, I'll see you tomorrow. Otherwise, I won't waste your time. I'm not going to bait you. Thanks again for watching. Bye.